We are live. Welcome to the very first podcast, well, WAS podcast of the Tacky Toaster Tray Club. I keep forgetting to say the club
Yes.
bit.
You just literally, I thought you were just going to say Tacky Toaster.
Yes, Cobb, it is a WAS stream, but with a twist. It is our
Woo!
podcast. It is our pilot episode to see if we will make any more of these. So I hope you enjoy them.
We've kind of floated the idea of this for a
Mm.
long
Oh,
long
it's been
time, right?
yeah, like I would say a couple of years at least. Like it's been
Yeah.
ages. It's just never getting around to doing it. Of course, it's a
Oh yeah.
difficult one.
This
So what was it? The sign behind me I drew just for the occasion years ago, and now I can use it. Look at the neon
yeah,
sign.
that neon sign is an asset that is very old. And have you used it for anything
Nope,
or
I just had it in my Procreate staring at me menacingly. I showed it to you a couple of times, and you go, "Oh, we could put it on a
Oh yeah.
desk or something." It's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
here
this
we
is
go."
exactly what I envisioned. Maybe not quite this sort of set, but this is the set we have nonetheless. So
Close enough, yeah, close enough.
I
Close enough to work, I
think I
think. So
imagine more of a not rustic, but like a homely bar setting. But anyway, we have the rather futuristic TV studio instead.
yeah, exactly. It would do quite nicely. So, but anyway, I guess we should sort of kick the show off then. What I would say we should do is, like I think I discussed with you before, is go through each and every one of us. So just so if someone is joining this without knowing beforehand who we are, then this would be a good introduction. So
That is
I
a
will start
logical idea.
exactly. So I will start with you, Raska, if you don't mind.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm Reska Kyoso, alien racing VTuber challenging Earth's fastest racers who are way faster than me because I'm kind of washed. I mainly stream racing content and make racing content on my YouTube channel. And I play games with these two.
Three.
Whoa, I went back 5 years then with these two idiots. So,
Okay,
how
Adora.
about you, Adoro?
Me, well, obviously, my name is Adoro. I'm an half elven tea prince. I like tea very a lot, all sorts of tea. I stream variety of things. I haven't got a niche like Reska does. And yeah, every chance I get, I stream with these two people. So,
Two
yeah.
lovely people.
Debatable. I've known you guys for years, but never seen you
Exactly.
lovely before.
And with that, I am Guy Shaw, the wrestler who is basically done wrestling because yeah, wrestling did suck actually by the time I decided that I was going to come a VTuber. But now it's really good. So now I'm gonna have to just, this will be the last podcast. See you later, everyone. But yeah, no, I'm just sort of here, join these streams, and do a few. I used to do a few TikToks and stuff on the side, but not so much anymore. Anyway,
I'm still waiting for the return of the Guy Shaw TikTok.
it will happen at some point. I have the videos. I've got some, but the problem is like I need to have loads in a row just for my
Yeah.
comeback, and I can't be bothered to do that. So, but anyway, so yeah, so I think maybe just run through like obviously with this podcast, like what we're sort of going to do, the sort of plan is, and what the template we're going to maybe use. We can always change because, of course, it's the first one, so anything goes at the moment, really. But what we're going to do is go for like a main sort of feature, so a main section where we have a group discussion about maybe something that's happened recently, like news wise, mainly in gaming, anime, like etc. In media more so than anything else. And then after that, we're going to go to each other and have a bit of like our own individual piece where we all discuss what we're up to, what we've done throughout the week, what we're excited for, all that sort of stuff. And at the end, if you're a part of our sort of Discord, you'll see that we asked the community for some questions, just to sort of go through maybe a couple of those today, sort of answer some of them, even if they're ridiculous. We don't care. We'll have any question you want. So obviously after this podcast, if you want to ask any questions, join our Discord and hit us with a load of questions. We don't care. You can give us 100, 200, who cares? We'll answer them whenever. But anyway, I will pass you over to Reska now because he it has got the main feature, which unfortunately I haven't enough time to research, but Reska has. So if I pass you over to him, and he can give you a good discussion on what we're going to discuss today.
Yes, so as you probably aware, there was a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct today. They announced the Switch 2 several months ago, but the long-awaited actual info dump was today. And there's lots of information, new games, lots of sort of updates to games as well, and I feel like there'll be a bit of controversy there, along with the overall price of everything we're going to talk about as well. Um, so yeah, the first thing is that we have a release date, which is the 5th of
Whoop.
June. Is that sooner than you expected? I think
That's
I probably
way
expected it.
sooner.
Yeah, I probably
Well, I
expected it
think
closer to Christmas.
yeah, it's because like there was not any sort of like there hasn't been that like teaser. There's been like a bit of teasers like throughout the year, like for the start of the year, but like there hasn't been like a very long run of like, oh, it's coming out, and oh, because everyone assumed the Switch 2 is obviously coming out at some point, but it's like I feel like February or whenever the one that came out that showed Mario Kart and the Switch 2, whenever it did, that happened, and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's like in 2 or 3 months' time. It's a bit like, okay, that's really
Yeah.
quick. That's such a turnaround. I mean, I'm happy for it in a way, but it is it has sort of, and like you said, it seems weird not to have it around Christmas, like November-y time, because like middle of the year, like are people really. I mean, people will buy it, obviously, but Christmas is always the best time to release something. Surely, like, seems mad to
Yeah,
me.
the thing that I always heard, I think it was with regards to Apple products at the time, because like iPhones used to come out in the spring, and then after many years of iPhones, they moved it to the where it is now, which is a few months before Christmas. And I think the idea was that when they were new and exciting, they didn't need the Christmas boost, so like they'll sell loads anyway, and then get a Christmas boost later in the year. But as iPhones became less interesting and people didn't need to upgrade iPhones as much because they already had them, they moved it to Christmas because they kind of wanted the bump initially from Christmas rather than anything else and the holiday season. So I
Yeah,
guess Nintendo is banking on, oh no, this is big enough that we have a huge number of sales in the summer, and then maybe a further bump in the holiday season. So I think that's probably what they're going for there.
yeah, I'd imagine so. It just seems like it does seem a bit of a strange time to jump it, but like I said, I just don't think it's unless it comes out and it's really bad, which I doubt it's going to be that bad. But I mean, it's sort of like as soon as it comes out, people are going to buy it. It's like the PlayStation 5. Like when that came out, everyone went crazy for it, and of course, no one could then get it. Which is one of the things I'm worried about
Oh
because
yeah,
I'm
the
like, do I?
scalpers.
Oh,
Well, it's
yeah.
just like the actual
Oh,
amount of units and everything. It was just like, are they going to do that with Switch 2? Because then it's like, God, are we going to then be like waiting like a year to get it? And so I don't know if I can wait that long.
Or in a virtual
Like,
yeah, I
queue for
get.
2 hours, like we did for the PS5.
Yeah, the PS5 queues. Oh my god! I mean, it's such a first world problem, I know, but my
oh,
god, that was so annoying.
it was a terrible time.
They weren't even
That was
real life
absolutely
queues. We were
terrible.
just on the computer, like in a virtual queue, and we would
Well,
like
yeah, I'm not
either
sure what's
get there
worse,
or not. And we
honestly.
all did it like what was like we all got on together and all did it, and it was just like who can get there first? Yeah, just
It was just a thing of like, what was so annoying for me, well, my main problem with the PlayStation one was the fact like I saw the PS5 come out and I wasn't that bothered by it. I was just like, oh well, I'd pick it up at like maybe next year or whatever. But then of course, as soon as I saw it, everyone was selling out. I was like, oh crap! No, I actually want it now because it's like a supply and demand, isn't it? Like you sort of as soon as you see it going, everyone's going crazy for it, saying how good
Yeah,
it is. You're like, oh no, I wish I had the chance to go on Amazon and just buy it like a normal product. I literally looked on Amazon and was like, nah, it's too expensive. I'll leave it. I'll leave for Christmas or whatever. If I only didn't do that, I would have had it and I probably could have sold it for like double the price or something. Oh, it's a
yeah. I mean,
crazy
part of why
time.
I was like really wanted one at the time is because you 3 years it was then all had it. Remember, and when we're
Yeah,
doing our pre-WAS like training streams, if you like, on a completely different channel. Um, I was the one streaming, but I was I was the only one without a PS5. So it's like, yeah, this is the worst person to be streaming. Y'all are playing GTA in 60 FPS, and I'm stuck
Yeah,
here with my 24 probably on the
hideous,
PS4, and it's like,
hideous.
yeah, oh, I'm streaming.
Like the GTA, like that GTA 5 on anything but either obviously a PC or PS5 is hideous. I don't know how I can never go back to that. It's just terrible time. But
Yeah, I feel like GTA was like, I mean, obviously it's better on a newer console, but like, it kind of, I feel like it kind of sucked on PS3 and 4, or the era of console, and then on PS5 it became like an actual
yeah,
finished product. I feel for the first time, but
Oh, I
well, yeah,
play.
it's one of
I remember playing it on 360. It doesn't. It's weird playing
yeah,
it now on PS5 and realizing it was first a 360 game. It didn't feel like it at the time, but now it's
it's
just
crazy
like
old.
looking back at games. It's like, oh yeah, they used to be on this console, but then you're playing on this console now.
okay.
It's like, huh?
Well, it's old and so are we. So
I don't
Well,
know what you're
yeah,
talking about.
unfortunately.
I'm an elf. I don't get
you're
old.
older than all of us, surely. 100 years old, aren't you?
No, we don't live like that. Anyway.
I see.
Yeah, what I was gonna say about the console coming out in June, maybe they're just gonna like leave it to the content creators to like kind of sell it for them. Where like they bring out early, the people who can obviously get it early will show it off and all that kind of stuff, and then they'll like entice people to buy it more because they see them using it and showing it off in the real world, where it's not like on the like on a video before it comes out kind of thing. Which I
Yeah, I mean,
find.
it will certainly give time to build hype, particularly amongst kids through the rest of the year towards the holiday season, and then they'll ask their
Yeah.
parents for it, I guess.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that is the thing, of course. You have got the summer holidays, so you are going to find that very easily that kids could be buying Switches or Switch 2s for basically
Trends.
summer holidays are coming out like the next month. It's like exactly, and that's the thing because it's a portable console and it's ideal for any like event, location, whatever. Like that's the thing with the Switch was always so good is the fact that it's portable. So and it can be obviously it's portable and a home console at the same time.
I barely used it
But
portable. I always used it docked. The first one.
yeah, see, I was the other way around. I never ever docked it. I hardly ever. I literally only use it portable, even at home. I just don't. I don't know. I felt like that was the best part of it. Like the docked bit was just, yeah. I don't know. I never had a like proper controller though, so I should have got like a pro controller for it because I
So
think that
you
would have
only
made it
use the
better.
like the Joy Cons
Yeah,
docked in?
yeah. I put them in
Wow.
like
Okay.
that in that thing that you
God.
get with it.
I'm
So
such the opposite on both ends because remember I waited for a Switch Lite. This is
yeah.
before we were streaming or anything. I didn't. This idea of the Switch was weird to me because I'd rather just have a portable version only because it is kind of big and chunky for what it is. And then the
Mm,
Switch Lite gets announced. Perfect! This is exactly what I want, and I love my Switch Lite. But then we start streaming and stuff, and I've barely done many Switch streams to be honest. But I then buy a normal Switch. But I kind of wanted one anyway because I wanted to have it plugged in on a TV or monitor and use a proper controller. I have a proper, not a official Nintendo one, but I have a like normal controller, if you like, for it. Because I wanted to play things with that as well. So I've sort of gone both ends of that spectrum somehow.
yeah, it's a good console though. It is just a great console. Like it really is. It just needs more to it, which hopefully this is going to bring. So
Hopefully.
Judging by the game list it has.
Well, we'll come
I
to the
don't know what it is yet.
games. Yeah. I mean, there are some interesting things. However, there's also a lot of things that make me groan a little bit, but I'll dive into that after we talk about the price, because that happens to be the next
Oh,
thing on this article I'm scrolling
Oh,
through.
don't get me started on the price.
The
price
Switch 2
doesn't
will
matter.
be £395 and 99 pence, or the equivalent pricing tier in your local currency. The Switch 2 and Mario Kart World bundle, that's the new Mario Kart game, will be £429.99, or the equivalent pricing tier in your local currency. You guys feel that's higher than you expected?
100%. Yeah, I think like with the game, like I mean, I still I always forget how expensive the PS5 was anyway, but like that 420 or whatever with a game, it just is the Switch 2 really going to do enough to justify that price? That's my main concern. It's like, is it
Mm.
too like 420? You are basically pushing to PlayStation 5, which without the difference in quality is surely massive. Really, now when you think how good the PS5 actually is quality wise, I can't believe the Switch 2 is going to have, and this is what I was saying with like the fact it's not that different from the Switch. Is like, is it going to actually have enough to make me think, oh, I've got to spend that much money on it because it's got this, and this, and that probably will rely on the games that come out with it, of course. Because if there's not any good games in it, well, what's the point buying it straight away anyway? Um, it is a difficult one though. I do think it's a lot to ask because Nintendo always used to pride themselves on being sort of the cheaper console, more family orientated, more reasonable. Um, I don't, and I just don't know what they've done to this to make it justifiably that much. Um,
Yeah.
is it going to be like that? Is it going to be like that on Amazon? I don't know. Like they may reduce the price because that is the RRP, I guess. So
Yeah, these days it's just that's the price it is, isn't it? With stuff like this, at least, if I feel like it usually just is what it says on the tin, which is a bit annoying. One thing I always compare to the Switch, because the current Switch has like a fraction of the processing power of like mobile phones. Like those are actually
yeah,
fantastic gaming devices, except the fact that it's just a touchscreen on the thing. But then,
mm,
these phones, like top end good phones, are like £1,000 anyway.
mm,
So, and you'd think a dedicated gaming device would be cheaper anyway, but perhaps if it's getting closer to the price of a phone, then the power is a significant increase. However, when they talked about like the 120 FPS support, because by the way, it does have 120 FPS support in handheld mode as well, I believe. It does say like unsupported titles, and it's like, okay, how many are actually gonna be able to run
yeah,
120 FPS then? Because
exactly.
that's a lot to ask of it.
Yeah, are we talking just Nintendo exclusives there? Because like,
I feel
that
like that's almost what it
it's
will
it's
be,
got to
but
be, hasn't it? Because otherwise, how are they going to do it with some of these other? Like, I mean, their like list of what they want game wise to come out, or what they've sort of announced, or what is in the works potentially. It's just going to be like as bad as it's going to sound, a dumber down version of what you can get on a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. And it's not going to be like the Mortal Kombat one. Like Mortal Kombat 1 when that came out was just atrocious on the original Switch. It's so bad, like couldn't even justify buying it. So is it going to be that much better is the question, really. Like I haven't looked at
yeah.
the specs, but I doubt
I mean,
it.
the specs are kind of like difficult to look at though, because
Yeah,
it's like, what's it going to perform like? It may outperform what the specs look like, and to be honest, with mobile stuff, I never know what's good. I don't know the
no,
Snapdragon from I don't even know any other manufacturer.
it's just a wrestling move, isn't it? Snapdragon, I
Is
swear.
it? I only know
Exactly.
Dragon
the
Pop.
I only know the German suplex. So
Suplex.
The German suplex.
Exactly.
there's a variety of peripherals, some of which we'll get into later, I'm sure. Including there's a Pro controller for the Switch 2. There is a GameCube controller, which is for the classics.
Oh
So
baby.
they're actually bringing out the
Oh
GameCube
baby.
controller again. There is a Switch 2 camera. That's 50 quid, and that's kind of interesting
What?
actually. Well,
What? Just
yes,
by itself?
yes,
So
but
they're
this is
gonna
a
like
this is
their
a
own virtual
standalone
gigs.
camera. Like it's not like a thing that goes onto the handheld. It's for use when you're
Docked.
using it docked. I mean, you could use it. I guess you could use it handheld too, but like it's not the intent. It's not like it's a
No.
webcam. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like an actual camera that on a stand. Um,
So like
and
iToy.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's what we're gonna come to. But there is an expansion for Super Mario Party Jamboree. If you have the
Alright.
Switch 2 version of that, or upgrade your existing copy to a Switch version with the upgrade pass or whatever, there's a what do they call it? Jamboree. What do they call it? Jamboree TV. And
Okay.
honestly, it looks like iToy. If you remember iToy on
That's
the
pretty
PS2
cool.
with the party games, and like you had like boxes for each of your heads, even though it was one camera. Like they've done that. Like, and it's
That's
part of the
pretty
Mario
cool.
Party game. So yes, iToy is back, and it's a Nintendo thing now.
Oh,
And
God.
all you need is your £400 Switch and your £50 Nintendo Switch 2 camera.
Yeah,
And there you go.
that's tempting there. I
When
must admit
I'm
that's tempting.
cleaning windows. I remember that.
Exactly. I hope they have a window
Yeah.
cleaning one, because I mean that is the classic.
Or the Kung Fu one.
Oh
I
dear.
remember that one. But yeah.
Oh,
There's
I
so many
just
good ones.
God, iToy stream when.
Yes, please.
I still have my
Yes.
iToy PS2 camera. I think it's
Do
at my
you?
parents'
Bloody
house.
hell.
Yeah, I think I have it.
I have the
Ah,
Connect
man.
one somewhere.
Oh God, Connect. uh, Also on this price list, the one actual dedicated Switch 2 game that comes out on the release date of the console is Mario Kart World, which is I suppose really is Mario Kart 9. It was 8 we're on before, right? 8 Deluxe. This is 9, I guess, the
I
ninth
can't remember.
main entry.
9.
And here's the prices, right? Digital, £66.99.
Oof.
Physical, £74.99.
What?
So,
Oof.
Oh,
yes.
It won't be
wow.
that price, though, will it? Like, you're not going to buy that
Well,
price.
but we know what Nintendo games are like with coming down in
I
price.
know. I know,
Unless
but
they
when you
pivot the whole
come to get
strategy
it,
because it fails, but I mean
yeah.
I'm
we're
surprised
pushing
the
80
digital
quid for a
games,
Switch
the
game.
digital is cheaper than the physical. Because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of odd.
Yeah, I think they are
They're trying
starting
to
to
push it
change that now,
more.
I think.
But I
Yeah, they
want
are.
Which they should
physical.
be, really. Because physical's way better, though, really. Like, the physical game should actually be more expensive. It's never really made
Well,
sense that it's not.
Guy, there's something interesting in this direct that makes digital games slightly more appealing.
I think I've seen this.
Is this like the share cartridge mode?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that though? Let's talk about that since we've come up to it. Is that even in here? I want to
It
say
definitely
things
should be.
correctly about it.
Unless
It's
they've
not
just
even in there.
Oh, wow.
To be
Well,
fair, this
so,
isn't a Switch 2 thing. This
you're
is
reading the original Switch, are you?
well, it's for both. It's for both.
I
No,
see.
not this article. The virtual cartridge thing.
Okay.
But I can't find anything about it. But basically, let's say you have a digital game now, instead of just being on your Switch as it currently is, it is a virtual cartridge, and then you can put that into your Switch or not. And if it is in your Switch, you can play it. It needs to be online to insert a digital cartridge a virtual cartridge into your Switch. And as long as you're online, you could take it out of one Switch, put it into another Switch, or share it with someone in your Nintendo family. I'm not sure. The only thing I'm not sure about is how, let's say you want to get it back from your family member, and you're online and you do that, but they're not online. Do you then both have it, or do you maybe have to
Uh,
both be online?
I think what I read was that they have it for like 2 or 3 weeks and then it disappears.
Oh, it's on a time. Okay.
Yeah, they're
Fair
on a
enough.
time, so they don't have it like forever. They get it and it will just, regardless if they're online or not, it will just have a time limit and just disappear after that.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that means that they can get it back straight away. Obviously, they can only do one at a time as well, can't they?
Well,
they can have
one
one
to
game.
one person. So you can
Yeah,
lend
yeah.
one game to 3 people.
Yeah.
But yeah, no more than that. So
I
there's
see.
obviously a variety of limitations, particularly when it comes to lending, and it has to be in your family group.
Yeah.
So that sounds like like you can't share it with someone random online or something. Like
No. Pretty
don't
cool,
have
though.
that
Pretty cool.
ability. But yeah, it is nice because that's one of the things with digital games that you can't lend, you can't, and even moving a digital game between playing on 2 different switches was a pain in the ass. As someone with 2 switches, it is a pain in the ass. I remember being at the Edinburgh airport waiting, and I wanted to play Loopers from Visual Arts Key on my Switch. However, and I think I must have had. I think I had the light with me, and the light was now my secondary one. Anyway, I had to like go on the Nintendo website and like re-register my main Switch or something because I hadn't done something I should have done before, and I had to do this in the airport on crappy Wi-Fi, and it just
Oh god.
didn't really. I spent a long time being able to play a small part of that game in Edinburgh Airport in 2022, and guess what? I haven't actually touched that game since then. I never finished it, so that was great. So this is cool. This is actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
I
100%.
don't plan on having more than one Switch in the next generation if I have one at all.
You'll have
But,
3 if you buy this one.
well, yeah, but I won't use the other two, will I? Like, I won't
Might
use
as
the
well
old
bin
They'll
ones.
be
bin
on a
it.
shelf, on a dusty shelf.
Perhaps, yes.
Well, people
So,
use
but
old
it's
consoles
pretty
for
good.
decorations, so you can just put it on the wall or something, or on a shelf.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
could do.
you probably could at least sell one, I guess.
I could try. I'd probably sell the dockable one because there is no
Yeah.
Switch 2 Lite yet, so I would keep my
True,
Switch
very
Lite.
true.
And I mean, hopefully they get that thing hacked sooner or later, and I can, I don't know, emulate on it or something.
Oh,
Fair.
naughty.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Nintendo, if you're listening.
No sponsorship there
but-
from them then.
What else we got here? You'll be able to pre-order the Switch on Tuesday, 8th of April. That is this coming Tuesday. I will not do that. That's for sure.
No,
Uh,
too soon. Too soon.
And I think you can pre-order early if you're an online member or something. Yeah, those with more people with more playtime of games are prioritized. Interesting. Sharing usage information is an element that prioritizes you. That's quite funny and disturbing. But yeah.
Well,
Here are the launch games. Mario
Oh, the
Kart
long
World
list.
and Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
What a long list of games. Which one will I play first?
Yes.
It's,
I think
I don't
Welcome
know,
to will probably
that
like how to like use the console to its
Yeah,
like,
it will be,
it
yeah.
doesn't really look like a game from what they showed.
because they
Yeah,
did that
do
with
you know,
the PS Vita with the Welcome Park. I was trying to get all the
Yes, like
trophies
that, I
on that
guess.
jeez. No, I
twice.
don't, that is a unfortunately, that's one of the things that's put me off at the moment is the lack of, like, for a game, for consoles coming out in, like, let's say it's coming out in 2 months now. That's nothing. Like, you've got two games for a console that's coming out that quickly. To not know anything else that's coming out for it is like really. I understand again that you can play Switch games on it, so it's not like you're not going to have any games. But you need to have, like, you think of when the original Switch came out, you had like Odyssey and you had like Breath of the Wild, and like they weren't necessarily. I don't think all of them were release games. I can't remember now.
Well,
It was
I was
ages
gonna
ago.
say, to be fair, there are some games not long after the release as
Yeah,
well.
I saw
So,
that.
Yeah,
I was gonna mention that, but I didn't know if you were gonna talk
and
yeah,
there
about
but
is a
that's
bunch of
the
third
thing.
party as well. Like, there's actually quite a lot of other games on here.
That Yeah, exactly. And
Third
that's
party
why
ones.
it's almost worth waiting, because there's no point getting one straight away. But then, like I said earlier, it's like, well, do
I
you wait? And then the problem of not being able to get one when you want one, it's always the issue.
I do like the fact that
But
we can play our other Switch games on it. Like it actually gonna be backwards compatible with the Switch One. So any games
And
we
that'd be
own,
that would be
then
insane if they didn't do that. Honestly,
yeah, it would have been terrible. It would have been
well, you know how
an
they are
awful decision.
nowadays. It would be surprising either way, but I'm happy that
no,
they've
it's the opposite
said,
nowadays. Look
Yeah,
at
it's going back.
PS5. That's
It's
like the first time
basically
they've
like,
had that for a long time.
the PS4 is the main issue, really. That was the one that, like, on the PS5, yeah, you go back to PlayStation 4, and then you've got all of the emulators they're basically getting now. It's actually, yeah, they understand that there's money in retro, which was obvious from like years ago, that people want to play PS1 and PS2 games and
ah,
stuff like that. And hence why Nintendo, as we'll probably allude to in a few seconds, is doing exactly the same thing with older games, like emulating older games.
well, the
You know,
three I've found at the moment are Hogwarts Legacy, Hitman, and 007. which are 3 I
One
saw.
notable,
Wait,
one
what
notable
007?
launch third.
Project 007 it's called. So
Oh, okay.
James, yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
because
see it on there.
they're remaking Goldeneye, I think, aren't they, or like something like that. They're doing like a from the ground up remake of one of the older games. I can't remember which one. But that'd be quite cool.
There's also Deltarune, which is from the creator of Undertale. But chapters 3 and 4, I think, are being added for the first time with that release. So I think that's something.
Oh, right.
I never
Yeah.
played that. I really probably
No.
should.
They got a
Oh,
But I'm not sure
Zero
I will do it on
director's
Switch.
cut I've seen. Split Fiction. Borderlands 4?
I mean, none
Split
of
Fiction would be
these,
good.
none of these are new games as far as I'm aware.
No,
right?
no,
these are
they've
ones
already
that
come
come out
out.
for
Deltarune chapter
Switch
3
2.
and 4. So.
Although Borderlands will be, won't it? If it's, or is it Borderlands 4?
Yeah, Borderlands 4.
Yeah, so that will be a new game. I guess that's going to come out with the rest of the releases for that, which will be alright.
Apparently they're gonna bring out Cyberpunk with it.
Yeah,
Again,
Cyberpunk
like,
conditions on there.
it's just with that though. It's like, am I going to get? It doesn't need to be as good because obviously it's not going to be as good as PlayStation 5 or a PC, or whatever, but am I going to be close to it to make it, like, in a way, and it's going to sound stupid, but in a way playable? Because I don't want to play it if the quality is really bad, if the frame rate's really bad. If they can get that to what like you said, 120 frames, and like almost like a Steam Deck or whatever, like that sort of playability, then that will probably be like my favorite console. If I can get a portable, let's say a portable PlayStation 5, perfect. That's exactly what I want, basically. A portable PC.
Have you heard of the PlayStation Portal?
Have you heard of the
Yes,
Steam
and
Deck?
I've not picked it up, surprisingly.
I mean, actually, yeah, Steam Deck
Steam
is
Deck
probably
is.
more what you want anyway. But
Although I have heard a lot about the Steam. I spoke to someone at one of our local CEXs about it, actually, and they said apparently there's a lot of games it can't play or struggles to
I mean,
play.
yeah,
So
there
it's
is a
just a bit
limitation
like,
on what that thing
yeah.
can do.
Well, I'm
It's
looking
not a
forward to
game.
the new
Even
Pokemon game.
even old games, so it's just annoying.
The new Pokemon game is the one I'll be waiting for.
Yes,
Again,
which will have a Switch 2 enhanced version, which is probably the bare minimum to play it, considering how poorly Pokemon games have run on the Switch for the last few iterations of them.
Scarlet and
So,
Violet, terrible.
But the thing is with the
Yeah.
Switch 2 as well, I don't know if I do get one, do I wait to see if there's going to be another color variant or just get the basic one? Because I did that
I
before. I
mean,
waited ages
you
before I
know
picked
that
Depends
will
how much
be.
you care. Yeah, of course it will be.
Hmm?
There'll be a light version, or like not a light version, but a pro version, or whatever they call slim version as well, like there always is.
Yeah, there'll be a like we've had the OLED Switch. We'll have some sort of enhanced Switch 2 one day if you want to wait like 5 years plus.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
it all
Depends how badly you
how-
want it, I guess.
Yeah,
Well, I had the very
depends how much you
first
want it.
Switch, so I was waiting for I'll buy the OLED one, and then I thought, oh, hang on, the Switch 2 is going to probably be announced, and then here we are now.
Exactly.
Still got
And
the
you
very
probably didn't
first
even
one.
play a Switch much other than sports.
I play
Yeah,
Switch
on the TV
Sports in the
anyway.
mornings to get my exercise in.
I guess
Like one
anything you
game.
play on the TV is not any better with the OLED anyway, right? Because
No,
TV's
no,
better.
you've taken that. You've taken that out of it, really. Like,
Yeah.
haven't it? Yeah. But the
Uh,
best. Sorry, go on, Roscoe.
I was going to move on, but if you have anything else to say,
No,
do
because
say
I'm waiting
now.
for you. I'm waiting for you to
Hold your
mention the
peace,
best thing.
Armin. What's the best thing?
Yeah, but I've seen the
Sure.
full list here now of things. Some are launched, some aren't. EA Sports, FC, and Madden will be on Switch.
Madden, woo.
Madden.
Well, yeah.
Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade, non-launch title. Hollow Knight Silk Song.
I saw that.
There's quite a
That's
few
a
things on there.
big game.
All my visual novels I'll be playing on the new Switch.
Yeah, I
Your
got a
visual
bunch
novel
of
machine.
visual novels I could play actually. Like Loopers, I could finish Loopers on a Switch too.
It will never happen.
And we can start Air.
Yes, but I'm not sure that's on Switch to be fair.
I
For
might
this summer,
stream
probably.
Air. If people want it, I'll stream Air. In
I'll
the
watch
air.
you streaming Air because then I don't have to play Air.
I'll play it for you.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's what streamers and content creators are. They just play the game for you. Because
Pretty much, yeah.
when you
Especially
do
if it's a story-based game.
yeah, when you watch people play story-based games, you either watch it because they're playing it and then you enjoy both the person and the game, or you watch them to see what the game's like and then you stop watching them play that game and then buy it and play it yourself, or you play along with them. Like it's always either or. Like there's some games
Yes.
where I'll watch other people play it and like enjoy the story with them, and then others I'll like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I'll play it myself and what play the story myself kind of thing, and then come back to them when I'm done or something. It's always an
Mm.
option. So what's next on the
So
agenda?
well, we've got Mario Kart World, which is yes, the 9th mainline iteration of Mario Kart, and well, you know I'm going to be a bit salty, but I'll put that behind me for the time being. It's Mario Kart, and there will be a Mario Kart World Direct on Thursday, 17th of April. So there will be an
Nice.
expansion on what we already know. But there are some cool things in this game. One particular thing is that there is some sort of open world in this. So I think, yeah, Knockout Tour mode is called, where we can race across this sort of open world. And I think there's sort of a mode where, like, you do a race and then you race everyone to the next race location in the cup. So I think
Oh,
that's how they
strange.
described it. Yeah, so
Pretty
like
strange.
all or many, at least, of the tracks exist in locations around this area which we can drive around freely. And 24 drivers online as well, I assume, are the maximum. So that is a lot of drivers.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I think they've obviously taken note out of like all these other racing games that are doing this open world sort of sandbox mode. You know, like with what's it called, Forza. You know, you have like the open world, and then and like Burnout Paradise did it as well. Like a load of games have obviously done it throughout the past, but it makes more sense to have a world where you can just roam around, then you go to a point to then start the race or do whatever. There'll be like side missions probably, Nintendo. Like it'll be very like load of different stuff to do. I imagine it'd probably be quite good. But I mean, even then, as much as I love Mario Kart and obviously I love like the old one, I just not that bothered. I'm really not that bothered about another Mario Kart game. I feel like there's just too many now, and I really am not that interested anymore. Like, I'd rather play Double Dash on the GameCube. Like, I'd rather play like Mario Kart 64. It's just I understand why you would make more Mario Kart because I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's one of the top selling games on the Switch. I think Mario Kart
I would
8.
like to
I
say
think.
it's the highest.
I think it may even be the highest.
I
Yeah,
can't verify that,
I
but
have a
I'm
feeling. A
pretty sure
feeling
it
it is.
is.
Which makes sense because it was paired with a lot of the consoles, of course. But it's like a staple game you get, isn't it? Like you think of
Yeah.
the Switch, and it was like, well, especially when it came out, it was like, and actually, yeah, I think everyone when it came out, at least over here in the UK, had Mario Kart, and then like either had Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey. I'm pretty sure that was, and you had to basically choose between which one you wanted. But it always came Mario Kart. So but it's a great game anyway. Really, like it's not like they've just put it in there and it's like it was a piece of crap basically, and no one wanted. It's Nintendo, it's Mario Kart, it is the same sort of thing, but it's also great at the same time because it does it really well. And the DLC, as annoying as it is to have to pay for the DLC, the actual cost of it isn't that bad when it's like what 30 or quid or whatever it is a year for that. What's it called? Premium or whatever the Nintendo subscription thing is,
Nintendo
and you get
Switch Online.
basically which
NSO.
came with that because it wasn't just the online though, was it? It was the
Yeah, you had
Oh,
the
you mean like
online world. You
the
can get the online with the stuff with it.
yeah,
yeah
there's
because it
extra
had all the
levels in
retro
there. Yeah.
games as well, which
Yeah.
once again best thing about it. That's the only thing I played on my Switch was the retro games.
I just
After a
get the
while, it's
normal
just like
online because of this. You can't play it without Switch Sports.
boo. It's a bit annoying. It's not. It's so cheap though, to be honest. Like compared to like PlayStation Plus, or whatever, it's so cheap. It's like you pay like 20 quid a year. It's like, well, that's nothing, is it really? You're not going to even miss 20 quid a year. So,
Nah. Or some cases, 12 quid a year.
so
Yeah.
I don't know.
The next game they announced, kind of interesting. This, and it gives me a little bit Knockout City vibes. Called Drag X Drive. It's a basketball game, but the characters are it's a wheelchair basketball game specifically, but it's
All right.
but like not a realistic one necessarily. It's rather cartoony, a bit more grim looking than Knockout City, but similar vibes, I would say. Very urban, I guess. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Oh.
and the idea is yeah,
So
because by the way, you can use the Joy-Cons as mice. Like
All
mouse.
you
right.
can,
Mice.
yeah, well, yeah, you can like put them. If you know the bit that connects to the Switch, right, on the
Yeah.
Joy-Con, you put that down, and then you move it like a mouse, which is really weird.
Oh.
But they showed for this wheelchair basketball game, they showed them like with two of them, like pushing them forward, like you're
Like
pushing
it's
your
our
wheels forward.
wheelchair. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
okay, that's
so
pretty cool.
that's kind of probably why they've made this game is to show off this feature because it is kind of not what you would
Well, it's
expect. Nothing wrong with
basketball.
it,
I'll
but
be
it's
No.
odd.
playing it. I can see
Um,
the picture now of the two being used as mice. Yeah, because they
if
were
it's
showing that
a
in the
like,
promo video for the actual Switch when they were taking them off the docks. They were like moving them around on the side like that. So maybe that was just hinting at that feature.
I didn't even notice that. Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? They were right at the start of the original trailer. They
Hmm.
were moving around on that.
Yeah.
God,
So they were
that's
hinting at it. They were
funny.
just
They
they obviously
were,
didn't know until
yeah.
this point.
That's funny. Well remembered. I didn't remember that at all. Yeah, this article suggests it's like Rocket League. I mean, we'll see if it really is. But it sounds like an urban, crazy basketball game. So might be fun. But I can't imagine it being that popular because of what it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's one of those games again, isn't it?
Well, I've typed it in Google, the game, to have a look more at, and also the game comes up and a type of vape that comes up with the same name. So
yeah, drag. Yeah,
Which is
not
better? That's
surprised.
the question.
neither. The game. But yeah, wheelchair basketball. It's got basketball in it. I'm in for it. Kirk in a basket wheelchair version.
We
Strange
also have
settings.
a Hyrule Warriors game. I don't know anything about Hyrule Warriors, to be honest. I
Just
don't really
skip
know.
it. Skip it.
We
No,
were
I
kind
mean,
of scrolling then.
they're a bit
The
meh.
Dusk Bloods. This is a title from Software,
Ooh,
exclusive to Nintendo Switch
ooh,
2.
I did see that.
Hang on, what's it called again?
Interesting.
I think The Dusk Bloods, newly announced game. So
The Dusk Bloods.
it looks,
So it looks like From Software games. So like Dark
yeah,
Souls, Bloodborne, uh, Elden Ring. It's all that vibe. It's obviously a Souls-like game,
yeah.
which is basically all they do. But that'd be cool. That'd be cool, and it's a cool console again. Like, I had Dark Souls on Switch, on the original Switch, and it's quite. I never played it before, so in a way, it's nice to never play a game before and then go to something like that when people may have been complaining about it. I have no idea, but I played on there, and it's an enjoyable game. It's like Elden Ring and everything, like as much as they're really good games, and I really should play them. I play them for like 2 hours, and then I forget they exist and never play them again. But when I'm playing them, they're brilliant games. They're fantastic, and if it can sort of hold toe to toe with a PS4, for example, with a game like that, yeah, it'd be great to play it on there. I think and it being an exclusive, even better. Maybe it will come to something else at some point because it does seem to be. We are in that market at the moment where Microsoft is giving away all their games to everyone, and PlayStation are giving their games to the PC. So it's all Nintendo may do it. I don't know. But yeah, no, excited for that.
We've also got, and I don't even know the original game of this. You'll have to tell me how old the original game is. But we have Kirby Air Riders, which I believe is a sequel to Kirby Air Ride.
I
How
can't
old is
tell you
that?
how old. I can't tell you how old it is. I
I'm
mean,
googling
I would
Kirby Air Ride
imagine
right now.
Kirby.
maybe GameCube. I don't know. I don't think I've actually
Yeah, it's
played.
GameCube. Yeah.
Wow, well, I
Wait,
guess.
I
wait.
play Kirby.
GameCube games were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well,
Oh,
they brought out another. They brought
um,
out a Kirby game a few years ago, but I
no,
haven't
no,
played that
Kirby
one.
Air Rider, Kirby
This
Air
is different.
Ride
Kirby
sequel.
games come out all the time, but like, yeah,
Because
there's a
Kirby
sequel
Air
to it.
Ride and Air Riders are kart racing games, it seems.
Yeah.
What's with all
Which
these
is kind of
card
odd because
games?
they've announced two first-party IP kart racing games.
They also sell. They also sell. I mean, I would imagine that's a nostalgia thing again for people that played the original. I have no idea. I never played it. I don't really like Kirby that much, but like, yeah, I've never played it, so it probably is a thing where if there hasn't been one since, then people are gonna be like, oh, you know, it's like a sequel to that game I really used to love, so I'll jump on and play it. But
Mm.
yeah, it's a bit of a weird move. I don't know. It'll probably do it right, I imagine.
Yeah, there's no gameplay of it yet, just a trailer, and I don't know the gameplay of the original, so I don't know what even to
No, no
expect.
idea.
But I mean, if it's a good car racing game, then I'd be interested, and perhaps even more
Yeah,
interested in
exactly.
Mario Kart. But it's going to be in the shadow of Mario Kart. I mean, firstly for obvious reasons, but secondly,
Yeah,
Mario Kart has like an open world now. Like,
yeah,
what
it's
is Kirby
huge.
Air Riders
Yeah,
going to have the same? I mean, to be fair, they could just like use the same
yeah, I
engine
guess
or
they
something.
could. Yeah,
Um, but I don't know. It probably won't. So that's kind of odd, I think.
Hmm.
Especially from the first party, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is funny because I think we had a conversation about this a while back, Guy, where I said to you, isn't it funny how like Donkey Kong is like this well-known character and is in Smash and Mario Kart and all sorts, but when was the last time Donkey Kong had a game? Like
Yeah.
I can't remember last time Donkey Kong had a game. So anyway, Donkey Kong is getting a new game in July. Donkey Kong Bonanza, like banana and bonanza. Do
Of
you get
course.
it?
Oh, what
Yeah.
a good one!
Yeah.
Ho ho
Adro
And
really enjoys it.
it looks
ho!
fun. It's a 3D platformer, and Donkey Kong is going around. You can you can destroy everything, like the whole world, the floor, the ground. You can tunnel. Like you seem to have the most unlimited strength I've ever seen out of any video game character ever.
Sounds about right.
But it looks really fun, honestly. And his eyes look like Cappy's eyes from Odyssey. So I feel like that's a sign it will be good.
That is probably a good sign in all fairness. But
I hope so.
once again, I mean, you haven't played one. I don't know if Adro's ever played a Donkey Kong game before. I'm assuming he
I mean,
hasn't.
has there been a three? When I think Donkey
Yeah,
Kong, I
it's
think
been
of
like
the 2D going up the ladders with the
no,
barrels.
no, like Donkey Kong Country. That was a huge game on 64.
Yeah, I think
There's
the
been
64.
last I think the
there's
last
been
Donkey Kong
Tropical
game I
Freeze on
played was
Switch.
on 64.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that I think we all
I didn't.
with our age and like
Okay.
that was the game that came the big Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong Country, whatever it's called. I think there may be two on the 64. I don't really know much about it because I don't really like Donkey Kong games. But like yeah, Tropical Freeze came out on Switch, which I
What came
think
out
was
on
a
Switch?
port. Tropical Freeze, Donkey Kong
Tropical
Tropical
Fruit.
Freeze. That was a side-scrolling sort of platforming game. And then there was I think that was a port of like a Wii U game or a Wii game, and then it got ported onto Switch because that
I've
was one of the
never
biggest.
heard of this game in my life. I'm googling it.
How?
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Mate, you should go buy
What's
it.
this? Wow, is it any good?
Oh, do you tell me? Go buy it and
But
find
yes,
out.
this will be technically the first one in 11 years because that came out originally on the Wii U in 2014. It was another of those Wii U to Switch ports.
There may have been
Um,
another Donkey Kong game in between. To be
I
honest, I
think
don't know.
Nintendo are trying
then
to
not
ride on
not after
this.
that.
Well, not after Tropical Freeze.
That's the last one, yeah. So it has been a
Swear.
decade, to be fair.
Yeah.
Before that, it
Yeah.
was Donkey Kong Country Returns on Wii. Oh
All
wait,
right.
that came out on Switch in 20. Wait, it came out this year, or is
Oh,
this
there you
not?
go. Wait, this year?
It says 2025 on 2013, 2010 on Wii, 2013 on 3DS, and 2025 on Nintendo Switch. But the link is wrong. It's a
I feel
2011
like
article.
that there has been one announced, but that before the one you're talking about anyway, or maybe it is the same one. I don't know. But I feel like the last Nintendo Direct I watched had something to do with that game coming out.
Donkey Kong Country Returns. It doesn't say when the Switch ones come out. I think it might already be out. It is already out.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah, January. So I think it's a remaster
Yeah.
of Donkey Kong Country. So that's interesting. Maybe I should get that if
Yeah.
that game was good.
No fair.
Interesting. But yeah, this what was it you said a minute ago, Adaro? You think they're writing on this?
I'm saying that obviously with all this, the success of the Switch, because of obviously their flop of the Wii U, that they're riding on the success of the Switch for the Switch 2 and all this stuff coming out. That's what I was trying to get at, because you mentioned the Wii U.
Well, it is interesting if other than the Wii U, they never
really had a console flop.
Well, they never even continued a name over, right? I think. Well, I guess NES and SNES.
Right.
I guess they did it a handful of times.
Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance
Oh, Game Boy. Game Boy. Okay.
DS Lite.
Yeah, but okay.
Game Boy Tattoo.
DSi, 3DS.
Yeah.
But the home consoles, like, you know what I mean? It was 64 to Game Boy.
They were all innovative, like.
And then Wii U, which flopped, then Switch.
Yeah.
And now just switched. It's not even like Switch U. It's just straight up Switch
It's just
2.
2, yeah.
Like that's never happened.
Yeah.
There's never a Game Boy 2, you know?
Yeah. No, it's quite cool. Like, I think they've done it because of how well, of course, the original Switch done. They don't need to change the formula. All they need to do is make it better, which, by the look of it, hopefully, they've done.
To be fair, I'm surprised they didn't actually, because of what they're doing with the Switch and the Switch 2. I'm surprised back along they didn't do anything with the Wii, where they actually brought like another Nintendo Wii. Because I know they brought it out in black, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
the Wii U.
Huh? Yeah, but I mean, like, they didn't do anything more with that kind of console apart from that with the Wii U kind of thing. Never did like it's
Well, they didn't
another
really need
version of it, or before that time.
It's still selling really well in like Japan and everywhere. It's selling so well, like globally, that they just didn't need to do anything with the Wii. It was just so like innovative. It was crazy, really. To think as well, Nintendo, like, apart from the NES and SNES era when there wasn't really much competition, like the 64, I love the 64, but a lot of people don't like it. And the GameCube is exactly the same. I love the GameCube, but a lot of people just, the PS2 was out. Well, you didn't need anything else for the PS2, to be honest. The PS2 was the far superior console, and that, and it was Xbox. You were getting like the Xbox come out, the 360, and then you had the PlayStation 3, and then you had the Wii, and it was like the Wii, you could obviously tell, was massively like inferior in a way to graphically, because they were still using it still at standard definition,
But they're
which is
more of the
mental.
concept of motion games.
But yeah, Nintendo have never been the type to be. They're never trying to win the best looker. They're not trying to be the console that can display your game in the best quality. They want it fun, which is something that every console, apart from the Wii U, really has actually managed to do. They have really good games on them. Like, even the handheld ones are all like innovative in a way. They all got their own little gimmick, but the gimmicks aren't like stupid. Like, they're not like the 3DS. Maybe I feel like the 3D was pointless, but like they brought new games with it, so it was a completely different thing. Like, it was slightly enhanced graphics and everything. But most of that, they don't really, and that's why only one console's really flopped. It's not, and that's just probably because they didn't change it much from the Wii, because the Wii was so good. The formula was there for the Wii. They didn't want to change it, but it would have been better for them if they just did the switch in between the two, obviously. But yeah, it's no, I like, at the end of the day, people can say what they want. There's bound to be people in this before too long who get their hands on this and be like, "Oh, the downside with the Switch 2 is blah blah blah." But I will probably buy it. Maybe not straight away, but I think that nothing's really going to put me off to the point where I'm not going to buy one in like this year if I can.
Yeah, I feel like I will end up with one. Probably when we end up getting around to the Pokemon game coming out, to be honest. But also that's swayed a little bit more because I don't see myself getting a PS6 or similar. I don't see myself actually purchasing that sort of console ever again. So, if I'm gonna buy one, it might as well be the Nintendo one, honestly.
Well,
So,
yeah. I mean, if you've got a good PC, then the only thing you're missing is the Nintendo games. So, you can't get
pretty
those.
much,
So,
yeah.
whereas now you can basically get a PlayStation game, so you don't even need to have it really. Like, you get well, not every, but they're releasing so many on the PC now that it's a bit like, ah, man, it's sort of annoying in a way, but I totally understand it.
So a lot of titles they announced today are actually deliberate upgrades to Switch games, which reminded
Oh,
me an awfully lot of the fact that basically every first-party Switch game for the first 75% of its existence was a Wii U port. I think
yeah,
Odyssey was perhaps the only one until
yeah,
the more recent slew of games. Um, I, and people forget that. I feel like Breath of the Wild, the iconic Switch game that sold consoles. That's a Wii U game. It's not a
yeah,
Switch
yeah, I
game. It's
know,
a Wii U
yeah.
game. And it's now a Nintendo Switch game, a Nintendo Switch 2 game too, because you can buy that with a Switch 2 upgraded version.
That will be the GTA 5 on Nintendo, that Breath of the Wild. Oh, it will be, because it'll be on free consoles, won't it? So it's on three generations of
Yeah,
console.
it's actually
Crazy.
it's actually
Crazy.
quite funny. The other ones are Super Mario Party Jamboree, which to be fair is
Nice.
a new game. The other ones are like newer games. The other Zelda, the newer one, I forget what it's called.
I
Tears of the
don't know.
Kingdom,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the
Forgot
new
about
Breath of the Wild,
that.
and then
Yeah.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land. All these, you can either buy them as Switch 2 editions, or if you have the Switch 1 edition, you can purchase like an upgrade pack. So you
Yeah.
don't have to rebuy the whole game, which actually is kind of nice.
I don't own
Yeah,
any of
it's
them,
like
so I would have
PlayStation,
to buy
yeah.
them anyway.
Well, you don't even have Breath of the Wild?
Nope, that's the game I never played.
Okay.
How?
I played it. I didn't finish it, but I do have it, so
It is good. It is
I could
good,
I
upgrade
think
that.
the last Zelda game I played was the Spirit Train, whatever, the one with the train tracks. What's that one called?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't
was
know.
that the DS one, or?
It was on a DS, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Because you
it's
had to
the
like blow
Spirit
air
Tracks
into
or
the
something.
microphone to fix the track or whatever.
I actually really liked the DS, but I never played. I only ever really played the Zelda games with Toon Link in, so like the cartoonish ones. I never ever played, apart from Breath of the Wild, obviously.
Well,
I'd
I'll
never
also
played
let
any.
you in a little secret as well. Growing up, when I was playing the Zelda games, I never thought Link was called Link. I thought his name was Zelda.
Everyone
You
thought
wouldn't
that
be the
though.
only one, probably.
That's just
That's
everybody. That's like common knowledge of nobody knew, because what you just Zelda is like, oh, it's the Legend of Zelda, so
Yeah, it's like
the
The
main
Legend of
person must
Zelda,
be
so
called that.
yeah, so it should be Zelda. No, the Princess of Zelda. It's like, ah, so who's this then? Oh, it's Link. Okay, why is
Well,
it
it's
not
like
called The
Mario, isn't it?
Adventure of
The
Link or
princess.
something?
It's like Mario. The princess is Mario, so you assume it's
obviously, yes.
Yes, she's a plumber with a mustache.
a plumber in the stage.
So some of these do have like added bits and bobs, which to be fair is what they did with some of the Wii U to Switch games, such as the 3D World remake that had a whole extra like Bowser thingy majig. So particularly Mario Party Jamboree, we touched on it earlier, but it's got this Jamboree TV feature with the Switch 2 version, which does look like iToy, and it will require that camera for 50
How
quid.
good is the
But
camera? Like,
I
what
mean,
specs has it got?
I don't think the specs matter too much.
No, it
Is it
is going to be
720 or
like
is
a
it
camera.
like...
You're not going to be recording with it, is what I mean. You're
No,
going to
it's
be
just going to
playing the
be,
video game.
yeah, it'll be bad.
Although that being said, there is actually Nintendo did invent Discord again within the Switch 2 as well. So you
God.
can enter like what appears to be a party chat, but you can even video call in it, and even like overlay like streamer style overlay automatic green screen of yourself over your gameplay, and you
Oh,
see
fair.
everyone's gameplay while you play, stuff like that. I did laugh at this though because there's a point in the sort of not really demo, more like a trailer because it's very staged, and this guy like brings up one of their streams full screen to like tell them where to go or something in the open world Mario Kart, but the stream is running at like 15 FPS, and it's like,
Oh, hideous.
well, at least you're not overselling this, but that looks shit.
That's not
What
great,
are you
yeah.
doing?
Let's see if we can get Vintage
I don't
Studio on it.
know. Yeah, I wonder if you could somehow pipe that in, but probably be difficult. But yeah, there's some interesting party chat features that I don't think people will use, to be honest. Especially if all the camera stuff requires everyone to have a camera. So, but there is this Jamboree TV feature, which does sound like a very fun party game if you were to have the camera. And I think you can play this online as well. So like you could do iToy multiplayer now, like through this.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
But everyone needs the camera, so and Switch Online and a Switch 2 and the £80
And the
game.
game.
So
Yeah, it's quite costly when you add it all up.
it's
You could just buy a
For a bit of
PC.
iToy.
well, you
We've got
can't play
PS2
Jamboree
and
TV on the PC.
That's
Well,
true.
not yet anyway.
Oh,
Maybe
just
they'll go
emulate it.
emulating, I don't know. Well, we'll see.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And
Sugar.
nothing, Nintendo, nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I mentioned them, but they don't really have, I don't think they have anything new, except you can now like, there's like a companion mobile app. I don't think that's very cool.
No.
But it also reminds me of, like, remember Sony tried to do that with the PS4, remember? I remember playing Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes with a companion app, and I was like running, I had Snake running while I marked waypoints on the phone at the same time for like
Yeah.
efficiency, and like that was actually
I
kind of
remember
And you had
things like
maps
that.
on your phone and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit gimmicky, but like
You
it
could
was
do
a
it with Call of
thing.
Duty and stuff, couldn't you?
I didn't even play that with it, but yeah. So but no, you can do that with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land has the Switch 2 version, and that does have like an extra. It's now Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, plus Star-Crossed World, whatever that is. So it's like an
No
extra
idea.
bit. Yeah, I don't know.
DLC, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah. And then if you have Metroid Prime 4 has a Switch 2 edition, Pokemon
Cool.
Legends Z to A. There wasn't they kind of glossed over Z to A. Obviously that is just a Switch game, but it will have a Switch
Yeah.
2 edition. And they say enhanced resolution and frame rates. So that's kind of the main issue with
I was gonna
Pokemon right
say,
now. So
The frame rate is all I need. Simply give me the frame rate. I don't care. I'll pay the extra money for that.
I know, right?
Ah,
So
just
that
letdown.
Z to A might sell Switch 2 for me. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because I will want to play it, and I will not want to play it on Switch.
I wonder if
So
they'll get the Spider-Man games on the Switch.
I very much
I
doubt it.
no, I don't think so. Not at the moment.
A Sony exclusive would be a
it
big
will-
deal.
It would go to Xbox before
Yeah.
PlayStation. If Xbox doesn't die anyway, I mean,
Well, yeah, the way it's going.
I think it is, but
Yeah. Definitely bought the
yeah.
right console. Yeah.
And yeah, GameCube games, which Guy, I think you were rather excited about.
Yes. The best part of that entire thing. Literally saw that article, just seen the tiny little snippet of just GameCube games coming. I was like, well, that's it. That's me buying it because that's the only thing I care about really. Because I can't get my GameCube out. I don't know where my GameCube is. But the fact of being able to play at Pokemon Colosseum, like XD, and like all these other games like Luigi's Mansion, brilliant game. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Oh, there's so many. There's Double Dash. Oh, just going crazy.
The
Like all
only
those games.
GameCube game I remember playing is just Super Monkey Ball, whatever it's called.
The worst one? No, it wasn't the worst game. But I mean, like, there literally is. Like, GameCube had so many. Like, you had Super Mario Sunshine, which people have probably played now because of the the Switch release of that. But so good. GameCube is so good. The games are so expensive as well. That's the other issue. Is the games are so damn expensive. You actually want to buy GameCube games, like Pokemon XD. I mean, I sold mine for like 160 quid or something.
No way.
Yeah, mental. And that was without the instructions as well. Just the box
What
without the
was-
instruction booklet.
What was that game we saw in CEX recently, Guy? That was like super expensive, and I was like, why? It was something really. It might have just been on PS4. It was
Oh, it was
Godzilla, I
Godzilla.
think, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Okay, that's completely
Godzilla.
different. But why is
yeah.
that
It's
so
because it's
expensive?
such a limited run of it. It's like so that there's hardly any of them, and it's just that's all that makes it rare. Basically, I don't think it's a good game in any stretch of the imagination. I think it's probably a shit game. But it's yeah, it had not many releases, and it came out on PS3 and PS4, which really surprises me because it's such a game that does anyone really care about Godzilla that much to even buy that game? I don't know. It seems like a weird thing to. I understand the concept of that game may be quite fun if you can go around destroying stuff as a huge monster, but is there anything else to that? I don't know. Mental. Yeah, it's about. I think the PlayStation one goes for about 160 odd, 100, maybe 200, and I think PS4 goes even more than that. It's just mental price.
There's a few details on the Switch 2 here, like 256 gigabytes of internal storage. Obviously, no idea if that's a lot or not because we don't know how big the games
No,
are, but it's a thing.
I'm
It's
assuming
got
they're
two
bigger than.
USB-C ports, which is quite nice. One at the bottom, one at the top.
Cool, cool.
Improved sound
I
generally.
assume the
Three.
one. Sorry, I was going to say. I assume the one at the bottom there is that not just for the dock, or is that actually where?
Well,
Because
I assume. Well, the dock will have its own ports anyway, right? So,
I guess yeah.
I guess I maybe it's. I mean, the current USB-C port on the Switch isn't just for the dock because you could plug things like a microphone into that when you are in portable mode.
Yeah.
So, but now you have two, I guess. So gives you some more
Hmm.
options, which is pretty
Ah,
good actually.
I've also seen something about the new Switch 2. The fact is when you take screenshots on the PlayStation 5, it goes to your phone as another viewing window. Well, you can do that on the Switch 2. Screenshots and videos you take on your Nintendo Switch 2 will instantly appear on the Nintendo Switch app on your phone like a PS5 does.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
mean that's like a cool feature, like in a way, like if you can do videos and stuff like that. I mean, for making TikToks, that'd make my life a
Well,
lot
it
easier.
took me a while to
So,
download the video I made where I got a hole in one on Switch Sports. That took a while, so that'd
no,
be cool. That'd
I
be a
don't
cool
think that
feature.
happened.
I
I'm not
have
sure that
the
Oh,
happened.
I
proof.
remember
I think you.
spending. I remember spending great difficulty trying to get a video recording from my Switch Lite to my computer of me catching Mewtwo in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, which was, of course, Adaro's copy of the game that I was borrowing.
Did you borrow the actual Switch as well? Oh,
No.
oh.
No, but funny
I was
enough,
gonna
where
say I thought you did.
he was over one day, he spent the night, and I woke up to him just there on my Switch playing Let's Go Eevee. I was like,
I
what
think
did
I
you
was on my
do?
Switch.
No, you were on mine.
That's
You-
weird.
It may have been before you got yours because you did. You definitely had. It was
No,
definitely a while since you got yours.
I'm pretty sure it was after I got mine because that's why I was interested
It
because
was
I
before
wanted.
you had one
Rep-
because you were using mine.
Yeah, but I probably would have brought it anyway because I wasn't. If I was going around yours, I wouldn't bring a Switch anyway because I'm probably not actually going to play it. Although I ended up playing it, so or yours, I guess.
Yeah, that didn't
So,
work.
but yeah, it's because I wanted to transfer like Pokemon from Let's Go Eevee into Pokemon Go. Of course, that's what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I remember that being a big thing.
I mentioned this on stream the other day how I did a Pokemon tournament for singles gameplay, and I remember I specifically got a chance. This was in Sword and Shield, but I specifically got a Chansey from Let's Go Eevee, copied it through to Sword and Shield via Pokemon Home, because that way you could carry through a move that you couldn't give it in Sword and Shield. You could only have it if you've imported it with that move from
Oh,
Let's
so
Go
weird.
Eevee. So I actually hunted chances in some cave until I found
It's
one with the
mental.
move and took it through the Sword and Shield and used it with the sole purpose of trying to surprise the league admin there, who's like pretty good at Pokemon battling, and I bet he wouldn't expect me to bring out that move because he would probably know what you can and can't have.
Yeah.
It's that type of person. and I was gonna do this random. I can't remember what move it was. It wasn't that good. It was something like a U-turn, but not quite. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted something that he may not expect.
All that effort.
I got a lot of
Uh,
use out of Let's Go Eevee. to
yeah.
be fair.
Oh, they're good. They were good games. They, they good old Nintendo.
I think I
Pokemon.
just gave
You
it to you
can't
in
really
the
go
end,
wrong.
didn't I?
No, you have it. You have it.
I don't
I
have
never kept it.
mine anywhere.
Well, you've lost
And
it
then you
then.
got rid of it. You've lost
I
it.
swear I gave it to you because like, oh, you can just keep
No,
it.
you
There's
didn't
no
give it to me.
way.
I
We know
gave it
you.
back to you
No
after
way.
quite some time. I definitely did.
No way.
Yeah, it's not. It's an expensive game.
Yeah, like, it
Yeah.
was one of those meh games.
I mean, true.
Yeah, there's
I
it clings on to that nostalgia that people have for the original games. It's cool.
I'm looking at
see.
the.
There's
You played
me
the
who just started with Sword and Shield, and then
yeah,
going and playing Let's Go Eevee, thinking, "Oh, this is boring. I want to go back to Sword and Shield."
man.
It's also
It's
so
just
dumb. Eevee is so dumb. The Let's Go ones are so dumbed down anyway, though, right? Like,
yeah. I don't really like the
there's no
character
Pokemon
mechanics
battle,
anymore.
or rather,
No,
you don't fight wild Pokemon, I should say.
no.
So
I mean that is one of the issues. It is obviously Pokemon Go esque. The whole point of it, really.
yeah,
But it's a bit of a shame. But apart from that, it's nice just to have a. I mean, it's even like people like shitting on like the Shining Diamond and Brilliant, or what is it called? Brilliant Pearl? I don't know what it's called. I feel it's called Brilliant Pearl, which is a stupid name. Um,
why does
and
that sound like something else? I can't put my finger
yeah,
on it.
I don't think it's called that. It's definitely Shining Diamond. I actually have the game. I can't remember what it's called. But I have the Pearl one. But like that was really cool because that I played the Sinnoh ones so much. Like they were like huge when they came out on the DS originally. Like they were amazing. So when that came out, I was like, oh, I just love it because it's like nostalgia again. You get to think back to when times were inevitably better, and it's just like, oh, so much. It's similar, but it's not the same. But it's similar enough that you get the kick
Yeah.
out of it. It's just good stuff.
Any more details here? Interestingly, it shows me here that it's the same width as the Switch, but it's clearly not. But I guess they mean the thickness, not the width, because it's
No,
definitely wider. Like it's bigger.
yeah,
Which I'm not sure I
yeah. I
like.
guess it. Yeah, you get
Uh,
if you get it too long, of course, it's getting to the point where it's actually becoming harder to use the
yeah,
handheld console. You don't want something huge, do you?
that's why I like the light. As a portable
Yeah,
console, the light is exactly the right size, I think,
Does
for
it
me.
come
yeah,
with the dock or is it gonna be docked
Oh yeah,
separately?
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
because I
it,
saw
it
I'm
comes
the
with a
sure. I
dock.
dock
hope so.
set is $109. Well, what's a dock set?
Or if you need
I
to
don't
buy
know.
another dock,
Yeah,
you might
probably
break
is.
it or
Yeah,
something.
if you want. Yeah, if it doesn't work or
Or
whatever.
maybe
Yeah,
just want two, like one in each room or something.
it'd definitely come
So
with it. Like it'd be a travesty if they don't. If they charge you for that as well, it'd be like it'd just be so expensive. It'd be just
yeah,
ridiculous.
the dock does look beefy though, which I
Mm,
think is powering things like the 4K support and
nice.
HDR and all this. There's
Good.
actually a fan in the dock now, so I
Wow.
think it's
Okay, so
cooling the Switch through the dock, and then
that's
there's a
quite
vent in the
good.
dock. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. It's a beefy thing
Yeah,
now.
Oh,
So no wonder it
that's
costs quite
cool.
a bit on its own because it's like
Yeah,
it's no longer a bit of plastic with a USB port at the bottom. Like
yeah,
this is a bit beefy now. So that's the
nice.
thing.
I
Well,
don't know if this is right, but how would you feel if you buy the physical game cartridge that the game cartridge doesn't contain the whole game and it's just the key for you to play it?
well,
Yeah,
that's the
I
case
think
anyway. A lot of
yeah.
them have it now.
But are those actually a cartridge or are they just a code in a
No,
box?
they're
No,
literally code and box. You open
Yeah.
it. It's a piece of basically a piece of
So
paper that has a code on it.
now, and I think this is relatively lower cost shovelware type games. It wouldn't probably be the big ones, but they are a cartridge, but it's just a download, and the
Yeah.
cartridge has to be in to use it.
yeah,
So that's how you
So
prove you
it
own it.
basically is a game on a cartridge. Like in
It's
other words,
yeah. I mean, it's quite interesting because with the way the code ones work, once you've redeemed the code, it's in your account forever, right? But you
yeah,
could sell one of these cartridges on, even though there's nothing on the
Yeah.
cartridge, just the digital license. So,
Yeah.
like the virtual cartridge we talked about earlier, that's actually kind of neat because it means while it is a digital game, you can actually trade that in and sell it or lend it or
Yeah, but
whatever.
can you,
Because
with that though, with that, would you have to delete off your Switch though
well,
for
yeah,
someone else to use it?
you can only play it with the cartridge inserted as if it were a cartridge game. So
Yeah,
you
I
have
know.
to put it
Yeah,
in.
anything's better than a bloody what do you call it, code in a box. I
Yeah,
mean, it's a bit ridiculous. I understand that there's limitations to games on there, but it is a bit like the whole point again of Switch is like, I want the cartridge. I want, I want to be able to put the game in there. I want to be able to put it with my collection of cartridges. Like, I don't want a stupid code in a box. Like, it
yeah.
sucks a bit, but still, at least it's a step forward anyway for them if they're doing that. So,
It will support micro SD Express cards. This means that regular micro SD cards for the Switch will not be compatible.
okay.
I think that's
Okay.
kind of annoying, but
Yeah. I was going to say that's
I
not
guess
great.
it will be faster with these new
Yeah,
ones, which will be important to loading and running things off the storage. So
exactly.
I
I'm
guess I
about the
get
right
it,
one. So,
but
yeah.
and yeah, there's a Pro controller that looks like a Pro controller. The D-pad's still in the wrong place, which is unfortunate.
Where's the
Yeah,
D-pad on it?
nothing. Same as the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Switch Pro controller, I guess. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't like that. That's why I have a 8-bit Do one, which kind of is past its prime now anyway. But
A
it's
douche
got
one.
like
Yeah.
it's got what's it called? PlayStation style layout. So I like that.
Yeah, I think the PlayStation controller is just finesse. I totally understand people loving the Xbox One controller and those ones because they are quite good and they do fit in your hand very nice. But I just something like the PlayStation 5 controller, oh baby, it's just sexy,
Apparently, Japan's
very
getting
sexy.
2 versions of the Switch too. There's
Go
going to
on.
be a Nintendo Switch 2 Japanese language system, Japan only, and there's Nintendo Switch 2 multi-language system. So there's 2 versions, apparently.
Well, I
Well, the
guess great
multi-language one is just
self-explanatory.
what the rest of the world
Yeah.
gets
Yeah,
anyway. So
they're just getting their own, I guess.
I don't really know why it has to be a whole different thing, but like
No,
I guess it does.
good old Japan. So that's very very strange. They're
One neat
making
thing
it
here
so.
is a thing called Game Share. Um, this reminds me of like PSP type networking. I think one Switch 2. Is this even Switch 2 specific? I
Is it
think
like
it is.
download play? Is it?
Well, yeah, I think you over local wireless, aka AD Hoc, your favorite
Oh
thing.
no.
A Switch 2 can share a game to at most or at least 3 other Switches, including Switch ones. Like the picture shows a Switch and a Switch
That's cool.
Lite, and they're playing this card game of some description that looks like a rip-off of Uno. Actually, I don't know. So yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of neat. Local game sharing, which feels like
That's cool.
something you'd try to do on your PSP on a school trip on the bus, and it just wouldn't work for like 20 minutes. And you give up, and you just listen to your iPod Nano instead.
Better
But
times.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's basically everything that they talked about. Anything else you
Yeah.
guys want to add on the Switch 2?
I mean, not anything else that hasn't announcement wise. We don't really know much, of course. Like I said earlier, is the games that are the main concern for me is still the lack. We went through the games that are coming out, and I have got those Switch games anyway. But then it's like, what do I sell? I mean, I might as well sell my Switch, haven't I? Really, like, just what's the point of having the original Switch and the Switch 2? I might as well sell that Switch and use some of that money to buy the Switch 2 because it just does seem a bit like it's a bit inferior now, and there's not really like the PS4, I guess.
There's
Well,
no
I
need to
guess you
have
might need
both
to
of them.
keep it for the system transfer when you want to transfer your save data, digital games, and more.
Yeah, but I don't care about that really. Like, there's
You,
not really anything on there that I'm gonna need to save data for. Like
Your
Mario Odyssey, if I play that again,
Pokemon! Your
no, I'll
top
get rid of
quality,
them.
your shiny Pokemon!
I have like none of those.
Or
Actually,
you
I
of
do
all
have a
people have
shiny.
no shiny Pokemon.
No, I don't know in the actual game. I have a shiny Azurill or whatever it is in Scarlet Violet, whatever one
There you
I
go.
even have. I don't care. So
You need
that'll
to
be
at
gone.
least transfer it to Pokemon Home with a paid subscription so that you can then transfer it into
Yeah, and
future
I don't want to
Pokemon
do that.
titles when they add support for Pokemon Home.
And yeah, I don't want to do that. So there's not really anything on there that I would care enough for. Like really, like even I guess Animal Crossing maybe, but then I'm like, well, I've never played that, so it took a long time to get where I was in Animal Crossing. I've done a lot to my island, but the last time I played it was probably also 2020. So
The year
it's a
it
bit
came out, yes.
yeah.
the last time I played Animal Crossing was on the DS.
Yeah, because you were the scum who
I
never bought
played
it
all
for
these
everyone else.
games on the DS and then got a Switch for the Pokemon games and never played any other game.
I never played anything on your Switch at all.
Well, I play
Oh dear.
Mario Kart Sports,
Sports.
L-
What sport?
Little Busters.
I mean, it's not. Most people don't even know what you're talking about.
Well,
Oh
that's
dear.
baseball.
Well, that's baseball. That's the
That's
baseball.
baseball. You just sat down and said
But yeah,
that's a baseball.
apart from that, I don't really think there's very much else
Wait,
to.
what did you say, Adro?
What?
You just sat down and said that's a baseball?
I was,
What? What you?
I was making a
What?
Family Guy reference to you just sat down and said that's my plan.
I thought you said that's a baseball.
Yeah, but I changed it to baseball.
See, that's such a
But you sat
weird,
down and said that's a
Weird.
baseball.
a weird combination of
But you like a baseball, don't you? With the
memes.
baseball. Little Buster's
I mean, not
baseball.
really. I did win that, so.
I didn't yet. I'm so bad at it. They keep bouncing the ball off and hitting things.
Right, do we want to talk about some of our specific topics or do questions?
Oh, I don't mind. I mean,
Well,
if you
towards the
want
end
to
now,
sort of
isn't
step
it?
forward.
We are in the sort of end portion,
Yeah.
I suppose.
So, I'll just do the
I
questions.
mean, yeah, we can just do questions if you want. I mean, at the end of the
Sure.
day, it's gone. We've been talking about Nintendo for too long, so.
But it's the
Yeah.
main topic.
It has been, and it has served that purpose very well.
Indeed.
So questions. What were we saying we're going to do?
I can't remember.
Work from the top
How
down.
did you all meet?
At Greg's.
I don't know.
At Greg's. Space Greg's.
Well, Greg's not even been. Would it even been around like when we
I
met?
mean, would have been
Like,
around, but yeah, not really.
Wait,
I don't
when
remember.
did
Not here.
Hang on. I don't think it was.
Well, not yeah, but okay. When did it start? 1951. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
fair
that
enough.
but
definitely
it was
we're not
hard. It was
old.
definitely not as widespread as it is now.
Oh, it was
Especially
Well, it was
founded in
higher, yeah.
1939.
and obviously it started up north and then came down as it grew.
Yeah.
So and we are relatively south.
Sour.
South,
Yes, sour.
the
Oh, look,
opposite of
Greg's
north.
is closed. Rip.
No, but the actual answer to that question is school. We all met.
Ooh.
I met Guy
The
first.
end.
I met Guy first
Sorry?
in kindergarten. Shocker.
Reception.
It was still
Yeah,
what?
reception.
That's kindergarten, isn't it?
Reception. Yes,
We
but
don't
we
call
are
it
from
that.
England.
Well, I just call it that to
English.
make it easier. Even though
We're
he
not.
was.
It doesn't
Even
make
though
it
it's
easier, it makes
much
it harder.
harder.
It wouldn't be
It's
harder.
it's not even American. It's German. Like.
Well, after what? I barely even year one, and I disappeared off to Belgium. So yeah, I will pick up some other
Good
words.
times.
Don't you mean
It was good
first
times.
grade?
Yes.
Yeah, you're getting
grade
them wrong
one.
now.
And then I moved to Belgium for most of my school life and childhood.
They were the best
Came
times.
back what was it? Year 5? Would that be called grade 5? Grade 5?
I don't understand the grades.
Neither do I.
I mean, just saying the English is fine.
And then I went to another school and I met Resker there. The
That's
guy
me.
didn't go to that school.
Really?
It was
No.
just
That was what,
me.
year 5 you transferred in?
I
You were the
transferred in.
you were the mysterious transfer student.
Yes, they've never seen a half elf before. They were all
Yeah, I knew
mesmerized.
you before I knew you though, because I remember the man that will only be named as Triangle Head. He would talk about you. Like he considered you like his best friend back then. Like
Oh yeah,
before you
because we
came
were
back.
inseparable before he left.
Yeah, yeah. So he always actually mentioned you.
We had the same
And
coat
then
and
suddenly you
everything.
turned up. The
Yes.
same
And then he
coat?
hated you.
Yeah, we had this weird, like, red and yellow kind of raincoat, and we both had the same one. And we had a lot of same things as well. It was kind of cool. Yeah. And then I met you, and then I met all the other ones, and then, yeah, then we went to the
And then there were
same high
3.
school afterwards.
High school. Secondary
The
school.
comprehensive school.
The academies.
It is now an academy, but it wasn't. But yeah, no, I think well, when was that? I mean, when I would have met you originally, you would have been
4.
God, I gotta try to think how long ago that was. I mean, 2000 2001?
Oh yeah, yeah.
2000? Yeah, I don't know, yeah, like, because it would have been that long ago,
28,
because
no,
we're old.
26 years ago.
Oh my god. We're not even 26
Insane.
years old yet, right?
Yes. Yes, good.
Well, human years, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Elf years, I'm way past that.
Yeah, I
Show.
happen to be 1 million. That's a bit
That's
I haven't
true.
done in a while. The idea that Rescue is like 1,000,001 years old or some shit. How convenient.
That is quite good. It's quite impressive.
And me and you, Guy, would have been the least long
Yeah.
relationship here. Because that
Yeah.
would have been. Because even though we went to the same
2000.
school, I definitely wouldn't have talked to you for a long time. You were just. I
No.
heard of you though. I heard of you as well before I
I
knew
was
you.
well renowned.
He
Yeah.
was the cool guy with the
The
leather
one
jacket.
we will only call Bean.
Yeah.
He told me that if ever I wanted to borrow a video game, because you know back then it was all physical, right?
Okay.
If I ever wanted to borrow a video game, Guy Shaw is the one
Is your man.
to talk to. He has every game, is what I was told
Yeah, I
by
didn't have.
the Bean.
I didn't have every game, but I had a lot of games. I do remember, I mean, like, just collecting PS2 games. I just had so many at one point. It's just unreal. But I don't think I've got any now, which is a bit sad. But I think I got rid of all of my PlayStation 2 games. But yeah, no, it's definitely a time where I just went crazy and just game obsessed, mate. Game obsessed.
Yes.
What would that have been?
Yeah.
When would I actually talked to you? It would be music room era. Was that year 9 or 10?
Maybe
It might have
10.
been 10.
Yeah,
That would be
something
like
I
2010.
swear you guys
about
would talk to
2010
each other
then.
through year 7 onwards.
No,
No,
definitely.
Because I
no,
used to,
no,
I
no,
hung
no.
out with all of you.
100%.
I was the
Mate,
middleman.
Separately.
we were different groups. We were different cliques,
Yeah,
mate. We were in different cliques.
completely.
Completely.
It was Triangle Head that went between. And
Yeah,
then
he
and
was
then
the
and then
message
Triangle
man.
Head is what brought us together later on in the school life, in the music room. And what we would do, for context, is we'd all meet up in the teacher of the music room would let us like use it during breaks, like not just us, but like the entire
Anyone,
like
really.
form. Yeah, and then like we'd watch YouTube poops on the school computers. We were really cool.
Did you hang out before or after I transferred to another school?
After.
Yeah, you weren't even there then.
You weren't there, no,
actually.
you were
Because
gone.
I
that was after you
transferred
left. I
year
forgot you left.
9. Year 9 Christmas.
Yeah, we all were much happier once. I mean,
I had to transfer to the Royal Academy. I'm sorry. I had to. I couldn't be in the
it's fine. I
commoners
said we
school
were
for
all
much
happier.
longer.
It was a much better experience, I thought. But yeah, no, it's been a very long time. We've known each other for a very all like somehow it's all sort of connected as well with each other that
And we're still here.
we yeah we're still here.
Like where you hear
So,
those
Who
stories
knew
where
we'd
like people
be
wouldn't.
VTubers?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
like back in school. You're gonna grow up
Hideous.
to be a talking animation on the screen. Ah, and here we are.
Ah,
Ah,
man.
Yes.
Who asked that question? Sorry,
That was
Riley.
by Riley. Riley also had
Riley.
another question
Thank you,
earlier, which
Riley.
got banned by the auto bot, and I will actually
Oh
mention
what?
it.
I
Yeah, it's
thought
because
it,
he
I
put a
thought they
dot in
put
it, and
I thought they put like a web link in there.
well, it's because they did like one dot and then the question, which makes it a
Oh,
link because there's a dot in it. Anyway,
oh,
Ah,
that's nice.
unfortunately, I've lost actually the full message because I could see it, but
Oh
now I
no.
can't because I refreshed. However, but basically, it was how likely are you to buy the Switch? 2.
oh,
Oh, I mean,
but we already
we've
answered
settled
It
that.
was
that
like
now.
yeah, it was like a 1 to 5 rating.
Oh,
4.
For 5 being the highest, I guess,
Yes.
yeah,
on your scale. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I feel like right now I'm a 3, but like honestly, it would become a 5 like
yeah.
around time
Yeah,
Pokemon comes
because
out,
like
unless there's something really a red flag with it.
the whole reason why I never upgraded my Switch one to begin with to any of the other like in betweeners, including the new battery one or whatever, because the new Switch was gonna come out. So now it's coming out. I can't just hum and har about it, can I? And wait for like the Switch 3.
No,
Yeah.
you either get the Switch 2 or you
Or you
don't
just
get it.
don't.
I mean, you can wait till the next like thing if you really want, but I think it will be hyped enough by the time it gets by the time it gets to like end of May. I think it's going to be so hyped that people are just going to be jumping
Like it's
on
a
it.
whole new generation,
And
so it's like there is no like you don't have to not get it kind of thing because it's like a whole new thing. It's like the
I think
PlayStations.
I think it will be a case of though, and I think it will be the same with the PS5. Maybe not as bad. I don't think it'll be definitely nowhere near as bad as PS5, but I think it will be a case of like it will sell out pretty quickly because the original Switch was like fantastic. So I think people will be jumping on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there'll be no rush for me to like go and pre-order it or buy it. If I can, when end up wanting to buy it and it's there, I'll buy it. If not, I'll then have to wait until I can. It's no like
yeah, you might wait a
rush.
while. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean, at the end of the day, if there's nothing you want to play on it, like when the last time you played
no.
a Switch game or bought a new Switch game, it probably a long time ago, right? Like you might as if you don't really want to play Donkey Kong in July, or even the Pokemon game come later in the year, like you don't need to.
Just
Just
play the
wait until
GameCube
there's something
games.
you actually want to play on it.
Yeah,
Well, GameCube games, yeah.
That's all I'll be doing.
guy's gonna stream some GameCube games.
No, I'm just gonna play them. I'm gonna do
uh,
what people did before streaming.
I'll read this other question from
Enjoy.
Riley, which is, if you could describe yourself in the form of any anime character, who would you be? Reska.
You'd be
I was
Reska.
thinking about this earlier. I mean, yeah, Risk is anime, basically.
Yeah, that's true. So,
So,
okay, Zala's given his answer.
Wait,
So,
what? No, I
So,
was pointing
Reska,
the
what are
question
you?
to Reska. No, my voice.
yeah,
If you haven't told, if you haven't guys noticed, I've been ill for a long time. I'm better, but I'm still like the voice is gone, the cough starts. So, yeah, that's why I'm like
Yeah,
this. But go on,
all mine
Reska.
this way already.
this is a hard one for me. I'm not sure. You know, if I had a lot of anime still like fresh in my head, maybe I could give a better answer to this. But I'm gonna go with the guy in Overtake, who is the teammate of the. Well, originally he's the teammate of the like blonde-haired one, you know, that all the girls like. Um,
Oh, the guy who's
because
always second
he
and annoyed.
he's always
That
second,
does sound
and
like
he,
you.
and he's focusing so hard on all the
Oh,
technical. I mean, not that maybe I'm that focused on this stuff, but like he's focused on all the technical aspects, trying to improve. But like this guy just shows up and beats him. Yeah, I can relate to that guy.
I thought you're the guy that turns around and beats everyone else.
God no, I suck.
Okay, well, I can see that because yeah, he was very like looking at times and checking the car out himself and kind of thing. So yeah, I can see that. Because I have seen the anime Overtake, so yeah, I can see that. What about you, a guy?
Oh, I mean, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I can't even thinking about it, like having not that much time to actually think about it, to be honest. But I really just can't think of any, like even an anime. I can't even think of one. Like, this is the issue. I don't know because it's like, is it going to be like someone that I think reminds me of myself, or is it like
Yeah.
someone I aspire to be?
No,
Because
it's reminds you of yourself. So like,
I
if you could
don't. Yeah, but
describe
it's just
yourself.
it's not really. I mean, I don't know. It's a too open question because there's
Who's
not really a character I resonate with very well in any anime that I've really seen.
oh,
Um,
who's the guy from Angel Beats, the big guy who like shrinks himself after a while?
Matsushita the
oh,
Yeah,
fifth.
that's
nothing
guy.
like me. I see. No,
You need to
never
go on
this.
that training course in the mountains one time.
Yeah, I should do that. I should do my training course. No, I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult one. Like, I could easily say like a JoJo character, but that's simply because that's not my favorite thing. So I could say that I could
Oingo
be
and
like a.
Boingo.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I could be. I could be, or it could be. Yeah. It's very much like me, I would say. Or it could be Iggy, the dog. I feel like I resonate very well.
Nah,
You could be the
you're
train from that one ending sequence.
nah,
Yeah,
he's
I
the
could be.
cat plant.
I
I
don't
could be
even remember that.
Wamu.
You are the
No, I don't know.
mask.
I could just be the mask. I don't know, like, yeah, because from there, like, who'd you pick in JoJo? Because you don't want to be like Dio, do you? Narcissistic, like, horrendous human being. Like, there's no way you'd want to be anything like him. Jonathan sucks. Like, Joseph's cool, but it's like, I'm not like Joseph, I'm not like his character. No, I don't know. I feel like I
But you're
can't
built like a
really answer.
JoJo character in real life, so it's kind of
Well,
scary.
nowhere near as defined as them, but
Yeah, but
I don't know.
No, yeah, well, you're not gonna have the thick line art in real life, are you? Like,
well,
what do you expect?
Oh,
people
I wish I
do
did.
the body art of it, and it looks
Do?
really good. Maybe we should get
Well, yeah,
I
someone to
people
could
do
get
do
it
do
that one
that.
then.
tattooed on me, in all fairness. I could just get it all
Oh,
tattooed.
Make him look
then you
like
wouldn't even need to go to the gym anymore. Like,
No,
it's just
exactly.
the
he could
lines
just
are
walk
tattooed
up and
on
just do a
you.
JoJo pose.
But
I mean, we
honestly,
do that in the club anyway.
Oh
I
god.
was going to say, like, when you first mentioned the question, I can't remember which way it is because I can't remember the show because it's been so long and Resk will be really angry.
Oh
But
no.
I feel in some way like, not because like protagonist or anything, but in a way that because they're quite a basic person and like they have shit in their life, but it's not like I don't have the same shit. But like someone like Tomoya from Clannad, like almost just
Tomoya's
like
Tomoya's actually really good.
that's
I
and
think a lot
that's
of
like
people can see an element of themselves in
yeah,
Tomoya, to be fair.
and I
Yeah.
think like not so much Clannad, but after story more so. I mean, I don't have the same
Yeah.
situation they have, but like as more of an adult, it's more of like the troubled times, I guess, and it's sort of I don't know. Everyone has troubled times, of course, and it's that thing of you're not a protagonist, you're not like a main character, like you're
Yeah.
not a JoJo character, basically. You're not like
Yeah, but
someone
you're a main
who's just
character of
gonna
your own
you're gonna
story.
win. Yeah, well, everyone's a main character in the story.
Yeah, but then your own story might not be, traveling across
It
the
doesn't have
world
to be
to
crazy.
go get the
Yeah,
stone mask, or I don't know. Like when kind of goes into after story and Tomoyo after actually is really good for this as well. Like, potentially even more so. It becomes Tomoyo goes from like being seemingly somewhat not popular, but he's got a bit of a reputation because he's a delinquent at least. He goes to being nobody, doing a job, and like that's life now.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's kind of real as one of the most real uh parts of any anime I think I've really seen is that little portion of after story where he's working with what's the guy's name, Yusuke, and he's trying to learn how to be
Yeah,
an electrician or something, and
yeah.
it's such a shift from the earlier part of the show. I'm just
That's
talking
what I
about how
like
much I
about
like
it
Planet now, but
though. Yeah, I'm good at this. I'm brilliant at this. But that's what I like though. It's like because it's not. it's what I guess is an unassuming life. Like you don't need to, and it's probably a lesson for everybody, I suppose, in a way that you don't need to have a life that is like a protagonist of any kind of media. You know, to have an actual enjoyable life, it doesn't need to be to the point where you. I mean, I would say you should always do stuff in life that you like, but in a way, the mundane and the sort of everyday can sometimes be just as fun as what these protagonists are doing in JoJo. I wouldn't say JoJo's fun. I actually think like I'd hate that world. Like it's a horrible world. Like why do you ever want to be part of that? But apart from that, yeah, I think that's my answer. I think I can't really think of anything else, so I think I'll stay there.
Cool.
I will
we're only
answer
gonna do
mine, but I
two.
was just getting
Adora,
to.
yeah.
I
Oh
haven't.
yeah, Adoro, yeah. So long on that I forgot.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to. I didn't want to butt in, but like I was trying to like segue into it. I think there's gonna be two for mine. Like,
I don't agree.
I don't, because obviously, like how like how I am with my like, what's the word, like how I am as a person. You guys know outside of streaming stuff.
Horrible.
I think
Yeah.
minus the fact is when I do implode, I don't hide in a cardboard box. I do other things, but I feel like
I know where
my
this is
character,
going.
my character kind of resembles Bocce from Bocce the Rock. Just how
Everyone says that nowadays. Everyone's
who is that?
Bochi. You don't know them. You haven't seen Bocce the Rock. You probably
But you
should
guys
probably
can
watch
see
Bocce
that,
the
right?
Rock.
I'm not like pulling out
I
of my
don't know who it
arse.
is. So
they're like a really. I mean, you're not really like Bocce, but like I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Bocce is
not
like this
heavily,
super
but like
introverted character and like basically
fair.
struggles to communicate effectively. Maybe it is Adoro.
yeah, the autistic
sounds like it.
the autistic things she shows is kind of like similar to mine. I just don't like implode as much as she does because obviously I don't have as
Yeah, I
much.
mean,
But
and
it's one way to
Bocce
describe it.
Bocce is an exaggerated character, I feel anyway.
Yes,
But it's a cartoon, so I mean,
some
obviously,
tendencies she does is similar and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, so that would be mine. And obviously, there's the other character who also similar, which is the guy from Given, but I've forgotten his name.
Gibbon.
Given.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just have a show called Gibbon. I was like, what?
Yeah,
Is
a show called
a
Gibbon.
monkey? I don't
Well,
know.
he is orange haired, so that's an orangutan, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what I've learned from this is really we should all just rewatch Clannad.
Well,
You should play
Next podcast.
speaking of
Oh
rewatching
yeah,
Clannad,
100%.
I need to actually open it out of the Switch box and play it. So that might be a stream for me.
Play Clannad.
I'm going to play
I mean, you
Clannad.
should. I need to. Really desperately need to play it. But now it's on PlayStation trophies, so I have to wait for it to go down in price.
Well, it is. Well, it's been on PlayStation since PlayStation 4, but obviously it's had some sales sometimes.
It's still like
still £34.99.
£40.
That's 34.
Yeah, disgusting. That's it's so expensive. Like it's incredibly expensive.
We'll talk about trophies. I got my 14th platinum a couple of days ago.
Ooh, did you want to get what was on?
Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, nice. Oh, I should have guessed it was Assassin's Creed.
But
That was a good platinum. It was a nice platinum.
It was surprisingly easy. What I thought, because obviously like the hardest ones are like trying to like assassinate, fight without losing like any health, like actually be like in a brawl for like a long time and not lose health. And then the other one was like sweep 5 people with the stick.
Yeah.
And that was just because
Yeah,
you
you
would
just have
hit
fun
3
at
of them,
place.
even though they were like all huddled together and all that.
Yeah. I
But
remember struggling with that.
they found a way to do because obviously you had like 10, you have to have 10 people and you've got to like kill them before you even get hit once. And some people's way of doing it, which I did it as well, is you throw down smoke, make them all cough,
Yeah, you can assassinate
and then
them
just
all,
assassinate them all, and it counts. So
yeah, I think I did that.
I did that.
But to be honest, I find the combat, like, I find it, to be honest, quite easy because I just hold down the counter button. Well, wait until someone's going to hit you counter, and then
I
just
think the counter
constantly
button
do that.
is easier on Brotherhood than number 2. like the
Yeah, they made it
flows.
easier.
Yeah.
I think they have made it
The only
easier.
difficult is you
I
have
mean,
to try and you have to do that same thing again, but you have to like do where you're not breaking a counter, and you got to count like once you counter with one, you can attack each one. But if you don't get hit, you continue on the animation.
yeah, no, it's
But it's
brilliant.
hard because obviously you have to like they'll sometimes pick you up and all that. So yeah, I'm still learning that one.
Oh,
So
it's just such a it's so good. Like those, like the Ezio trilogy of games is fantastic. Like
well, because
it's
it's
just
Ezio, isn't it? He's the cool character.
he is great. But they do have some good. Like I like Edward Kenway in
Yeah, apparently a lot
Black
of people
Flag.
say that one, but I haven't played that at all,
Black
even
Flag is
when the first came
brilliant.
out.
Like Reska hates Black Flag,
Black
but
Flag's getting a
it's
remake.
brilliant. It is, yeah.
Why?
Like because it's a brilliant game. You never played the campaign. That's the
You
issue. You
are
just
a
played
pirate.
I
the
did play the
hideous.
campaign.
Did
That's why
you?
I stopped. Yeah, I hated the campaign.
Oh man, what? It's like basically one of the best set. Like apart from Odyssey, it is like second to none. Odyssey is the best Assassin's Creed like place, like the map, everything. Being Greece is fantastic, but like I love Black Flag. I love the area. You know, it's like sort of supposed to be the sort of Caribbean esque sort of. Yeah, it's
Is
cool.
the Greece
Is it?
one during the Spartan era?
I don't know. I
Oh.
mean, it is set. It's the it, in if you played them in order of in order of like when it's set, then that is the first one you play because it's like before all the others. It's like
Yeah,
200 something BC, I think. But
but people still say you
brilliant
have to
game
play
though.
it the other way because obviously you should go back in time anyway.
I wouldn't play it that way. It'd be weird. Play
I'm
it normally.
still
It's just
I really want to get Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I'm still trying to like play through all the ones I haven't played yet
oh
before I
yeah, there's
get
no
it.
point. Yeah, there's no point getting into because it'll go down in price. So you might as well wait until you've done all the other games you're going to play, and then by then it's probably gone down slightly. I do actually want to get it. In all fairness, like I mean, I think was the last time I was streaming, I slagging off. I feel like I'm slagging off a bit, but I do actually want it because I play all of them. But Mirage was so bad for someone that's loved every game. Basically, Mirage was so bad that it really put me off. It's just story was rubbish. I skipped most of it I possibly could. Like
Is
I
it like
didn't
a
want to
very
do
short
anything
one?
else. But it's shorter than the normal mainline ones because it was technically like supposed to be like a DLC for Valhalla. But it's just like it's an origin story basically of someone who's in Valhalla. But it's just like the setting is. It looks nice because it's a PS5. You know, it looks cool. Like it looks like
Yeah,
it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's not Jerusalem. It's just like Baghdad, like it's sort of Iraq, Iran area,
Middle East, yeah.
Afghanistan. Yeah, but it looks nice, but it's just like everything for the trophy. I don't know why I even bothered for the platinum trophy because it was just more of a pain, more of a nuisance than actually. I got to like the last couple of trophies, and I was so desperate just to finish the game so I never play again. And the same with Valhalla because Valhalla had too much to do. Like I assume you're going to try and go for the platinum in the other games that you play.
Yeah, I know
Like
a couple
Valhalla
I know
is
I
just
can't because obviously some of them are like online
oh
stuff.
yeah, online ones, yeah.
But I'll
Yeah, you
still
won't be able
play
to
it
get any
regard
online
play
ones.
play them up to the new one regardless.
Well, as long as
Because
you get the PlayStation 4 version of each game, you'll be alright. Because if you get the like PS3 ones, they have the trophies for online, whereas the PS4 ones, because they've either taken the line out or it's still working or whatever, you can still use it. So, although Unity, I'm not sure.
yeah, I've been
But
getting
the
like
others,
if I do get them, I've been getting like the newer versions anyway. So even if I haven't played the older
yeah,
version, I'll still get the newer version because the next one on my list will be after obviously Brotherhood and Revelations. It will be the Assassin's Creed 3 remaster, which obviously
very,
I haven't played the
yeah,
original anyway, so it's going to be the same regardless.
that's a good game as well. And
Yeah, a
four's
lot of
good.
people like 3. Uh,
I think like you'll get to when you get to Valhalla. I think most of the games are pretty good. So I think
I do like
Valhalla
Vikings.
lets it down a bit. It looks amazing, Valhalla. Once again, it looks absolutely amazing. But it's the issue again, and it's probably maybe my issue because I was the one doing it. But it's trying to get the platinum trophy because you have to do everything in the game, and the stones, the cairn stones that you have to do are actually, and this is for anything ever done on any game, is the most annoying thing, and it actually nearly broke my controller trying to do it because you have to do them, and it's so ridiculously hard. It's just it's so frustrating. Thinking about it is annoying me. I can't talk about it. We have to skip. Let's just end the podcast now before I kill someone. No, thinking about this stupid stuff
In a video game.
in a video game.
Yes. Anything you want to add, Reska? Like, because obviously we were on Assassin's Creed tangent then for a second.
I've only played 2 and 4 and well a little bit of
Tiny bit of Unity.
Unity. I had to actually look at the box to remember what that game was called.
So, yeah,
So I
that
don't
one
have a
stream
strong-
that
I
will
liked
never
2.
exist.
I liked 2. I listened to Aikatsu music while listening to it, playing it, and it had a line that goes, "It's me, Mario," and I very much enjoyed the game on my Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, I did that even when I streamed it. Like, he said the line, he said it, and then everyone was kept going on because obviously it's me, Mario.
It's so
And
weird.
then he gets done in the next game.
Excuse me,
Spoilers.
spoilers.
Spoilers for like a game from like 50 years or whenever it came out.
I'm past that bit anyway. I'm in Roma.
Yeah, that's what's good about Brotherhood. Get all the Rome lush.
Yeah, and I've got the nice blue outfit, Roma Stone. It's called. And it's blue,
James Blue. Yeah.
so I look cool with the part. Huh?
Not very Italian, is it? Having blue.
Well, most of the
Although
other
it
regions
is
were
blue.
blue. Well, greens and blues. The other place was red, wine color or copper color, depending on the region you went to. But in this one, you have to, Brotherhood. You've got to what's it? Renovate places. You got to become
cool.
like your own boss and renovate all these places. Well, you
Yeah,
ruined
no,
it for Riley.
Oh, oops, sorry.
Don't worry, Riley. I've
Well,
ruined it for you too because I've continued playing it without streaming it. So when I stream it next, I'll be like partly through Brotherhood.
They won't be there.
Oops.
No. Oh well, I mean, it's not too much of a spoiler. The story does just fine about him. So,
Yeah, Mario's fine.
exactly, it's all good.
We're in the
But
future
anyway, I
If
guess
he's fine, if Mario's fine, why wasn't there a new mainline 3D platforming Mario title
why
announced
Odyssey
at
2?
today's Switch 2 Direct?
I don't know.
Where's Odyssey 2? The game everyone
Well,
wants.
Donkey Kong Bonanza is Odyssey 3 at this point because Kirby was
no.
Odyssey 2, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah.
we don't
Oh,
want
well.
that though. I want more Mario, please.
I'm going to raid someone.
Yes.
Is there anyone on your list, or should I just go for who I'm gonna go for?
Oh, who are you going for?
I think you can go for who you are going to go for.
Let's go for Memi. I think.
Memi, I
Memi.
thought it would be Memi.
Yep.
Tell better. But I guess if while you're doing that, then we should do the outro. Just sort of
Do we have
thanking
an
everyone for
outro?
listening. Yeah.
Thank you for
everybody for listening.
listening to the original WWAS
The
podcast.
first one.
Feel free to let us know what you think. That sounds
If you want
scary.
us to never do
Maybe
it again,
don't do that. No, actually, you should do
by all means, tell us never to do it again, and we will never do it again.
And because this is the podcast for WAS, it won't be a WAS raid. It will be a toaster raid because of the Tacky Toaster Club. That's the name of it.
Toaster. That's gonna be so confusing.
Yep.
Is there a toast emoji they can use? Like, is that or
Either
bread?
use
Maybe
bread
just use
emojis or our emojis go wild. But yes, the next WAS
yeah.
Wednesday will just be an ordinary WAS Wednesday with a game. Don't know yet what it'll be, but there'll be in a schedule or two. And we'll hope to catch you on any of our other streams, either mine or Resker's.
Yeah,
So
I'm
thanks.
back on my Twitch and my YouTube on Friday with IndyCar and some more racing over the weekend as well.
So yes, thanks for stopping by and goodbye.
So there's more questions.